We are here as Tegemeo Institute of Agricultural Policy and Development. This is an institute of Egerton University under the Division of Research and Extension. And we are holding this conference dubbed Tegemeo Conference 2015. The theme is transforming smallholder agriculture in Kenya in the context of climate change, devolution, and increasing land constraints. And so the question we are asking, how can we continue to transform smallholder agriculture in the face of these challenges? Some of them have been in existence and others that are going to be emerging. As researchers, we have conducted various research on those three, and particularly land, the areas of climate change and variability, and also on the area of devolution. And as researchers, we like feedback, and so we've organized this conference to be able to share the research findings with key stakeholders and experts in the sector who we have invited. And within us, we have participants from the public sector, we have participants from the private sector, the civil society, research institutions, universities, and we have brought all these key stakeholders today to share with them the findings of our research, to be able to elicit debate and receive feedback that would allow us to finalize on the research that we have done. But more so, we would like to create a forum that opens up a wider discussion amongst the key stakeholders to be able to identify appropriate policy options that needs to be taken to transform smallholder agriculture. And where we are coming from is that agriculture remains very critical to our economy. It's in fact very important in driving the economic pillar of the Kenya Vision 2030. And yet we find that in that agriculture, the producers, about 80% are smallholder farmers. And while they produce about 75% of agricultural production, they are faced by a myriad of challenges, and the ones I have mentioned, decreasing land sizes, they are faced with climate change, and the need to adapt is very important, yet they are not well capacitated, and this will continue to be a challenge for the production. And so the question we ask ourselves, how should this, or how is it going to be for these smallholder farmers? And so we have studies that we have conducted on land, and asking ourselves, in the wake of declining land sizes, and because of population growth, how will agricultural production continue to grow? We look at emerging issues, the rise of the middle level farmers, and what are the opportunities and the challenges that they present. We look at devolution. We know that many of the activities within the agricultural sector have been devolved to county governments, and we take stock of what is the performance of agriculture in the wake of this transfer of functions to the county government. And we look at budgetary issues. How are they budgeting and allocating to agriculture vis-a-vis other activities? And we also ask ourselves the status, how is the performance, how is the delivery of services under the new structure? Those are the questions that we'll be asking. We do hope to be able to elicit various discussions. We look at areas of input intensification. We know that agricultural productivity in Kenya and most of sub-Saharan Africa has been very low, and input use is critical. And we ask ourselves questions, what are the interventions that should ensure increased use of inputs to enable growth in ag productivity? But in our data, on average, it's showing that we harvest about 90 kg bags of maize from an acre. That is very low by all standards. And so we look at some of the interventions the government have done, particularly the NIAP program. It's an input subsidy program. And we ask, how has it performed? Did it achieve the intended goals? Is there room for scaling up? We also look at the role of the non-farm sector. We find that most of our farmers combine both farming and off-farm activities, and we ask ourselves, Is there competition or complementary between these two sectors? And are earnings from the off-farm sector able to be reinvested back into the farm? And all this, we are looking at affordability for inputs for the farmers to be able to use and then increase our productivity.